In our modern world, temptations are everywhere. You wake up, temptations. You go to the store, temptation. You work, temptations. And a lot of times those temptations take control of us. In 1953, a scientist named James Holt decided one day to give rats a lever that would stimulate their brain's pleasure center. This lever gave rats so much pleasure that they completely forgot about their basic needs, and one of them pulled on it 1,920 times in 1 hour. Why am I telling you this? Well, because sometimes, to be honest, I do feel like one of those rats. Every day I am presented with dozens of options that would allow my brain to instantly create pleasure chemicals that are a lot more fun and addicting than just working hard. However, what if I told you that there was a simple trick that you could apply today that would help you remove 99% of those temptations? But first, what is a temptation and why the hell should you remove temptations from your life? In this video, I will define temptation as an easy, short-term pleasure opportunity that hinders on your long-term personal goals and happiness. So, watching TikTok, eating junk food, or doing drugs could all be considered temptation. Now, why should you remove temptations from your life? Every time that I talk about this, the most common response that I get is, no thank you, I would rather enjoy life, and removing temptations just sounds depressing. And don't get me wrong, I too want to enjoy life, but contrary to common belief, removing temptations is what allows me to achieve my personal goals and have fun at the same time without having to compromise between the two of them. Let me give you an example so that you better understand. Let's say that you're a student and that you need to submit a text before midnight. So you wake up, but instead of working right away on your text, you decide to procrastinate and procrastinate and procrastinate, and now it's 4 p.m. Now you realize that you have to work on it right now or else you won't have the time to finish it. But as soon as you start working, you receive a text from your friends asking you if you want to go out tonight. Now you have to make a choice. Either you go out tonight and fail your assignment, or you can tell your friends that you cannot go and work on your assignment. Now you might see where I'm going with this, but what if instead of procrastinating, you started working on your text right away? You wouldn't have to choose between the two. You could submit your assignment on time and then go out with your friends without compromising on any. The ultimate goal of removing temptations is to make life less about pulling a pleasure lever and more about achieving the things you want to achieve and living a fulfilled life. Now the time has come for me to reveal the secret to help you remove 99% of your temptations in your life. Disclaimer, what I'm about to say might sound obvious, but I will explain later the logic behind it and how to apply it in your own life. So, the trick is to make it harder to be tempted. Design your own temptation-free environment so that it will be almost impossible for you to be tempted. So what's the logic behind this trick? Let's start with this simple fact. The more temptations you have in your environment, the harder it will be to resist them. A study in 2011 found that the people who were considered better at self-control simply just experienced less temptations in their daily lives, and the people who were considered worse at self-control experienced more temptations. So, if you're able to remove temptations from your life, it will make it easier for you to make good long-term decisions. Now, here's the unfair part. Everyone has temptations, but not everyone experiences the same temptation. Some people just naturally don't like sugary foods that much. Some enjoy working out more than others, and some, like me, just really like to read. However, that doesn't mean that you can't be better. Some people learn faster than others, but just because this is a fact of life doesn't mean you can't learn anything. It'll just take a bit more effort. So how can you engineer your environment and make it harder to be tempted? Step 1 is to have a goal that you want to achieve. That is the most crucial step, because if, for example, you're able to save an hour every day because you're not going on TikTok anymore, well, what's the point if you have nothing else to spend that hour on? There's no point. So, very important, have a goal. Step 2 is to be more aware of the temptations that are present in your environment. Live life as usual for a week, but every time you're tempted by something, write it down. Step 3, once you got your list of your own temptations, try to find ways to reshape or re-engineer your environment to make it harder or even impossible to be tempted by each point on your list. For example, if you find yourself spending too much time on your phone in the morning, then something very easy you can do is to put your phone outside of your bedroom when sleeping. That way, to spend your morning on your phone, what you will need to do is get up, go pick up your phone, and then go back to bed. As you can see, that change will make it harder to be tempted. but not impossible. If you want to make it impossible, you can do like me and uninstall each and every social medias on your phone. That way you're never going to be tempted again by your phone because there's going to be nothing to do on it. Now, to give you a bit more inspiration, here's a list of ideas that I came up with to help you design your own temptation-free environment. I'll go from most extreme to least extreme. And remember, it's normal that not all of these ideas can be applied to your life. And if none of these work, try coming up with your own. Do you find yourself always playing video games instead of doing something productive? Well, to make it harder to be tempted, you can sell all your gaming equipment, or delete all your video games, or completely unplug either your console or gaming computer and store it away each time you're done with it. Or do like me and buy a Mac. That way you just won't be able to play games on it. Or if you can, put your gaming PC or console in another room away from your work food. Lastly, you can try to make friends that do not play games. Do you want to lose weight but always find yourself constantly snacking on junk food? You can throw every unhealthy food in the trash. Or if you live with someone, that person can store all unhealthy snacks in a safe and only give you access once a week. Or you can try to find healthy alternatives to your unhealthy snacks. Do you find yourself always on your phone and waste hours on TikTok, Instagram, or Reddit? You can sell your phone and buy a flip phone.
Hello.
Or do like me and delete all social media. I eventually had to delete YouTube too because the Shorts tab was getting just a bit too addictive. Or if you have a smartwatch, you can hide your phone somewhere and just use your smartwatch to answer texts and calls during your work time. Or lastly, there are apps that can remove access to social medias on your phone for a set amount of time. Obviously, I've just scratched the surface here. There's a lot more ways and tools that can help you create your own temptation-free environment. Now, here's an opportunity to help the future people watching this video. If you successfully remove a temptation from your life, share it in the comments. State your old temptation and how you've been able to engineer your own environment to remove it. That is it for me. I hope that this video was helpful, and if you have any constructive criticism, do not hesitate to let me know. I'm Michael. Bye-bye.